No, I can't do that. Tell Ares I can't make it. No, I can't tank all his 100 pal speedruns. He knows that. I have to raid tonight. No, I know he needs point cap, but I'm not taking all those wandering palaces because he doesn't want to raid. Okay. Hey everybody, Zeus Laser here, and today I'm going to bring you a guide on the first boss of turn 1. So I'm going to make this guide as simple as possible, and I want to make all of my guides simple to raiding. I don't want to have people overthink this, and people that are new to the fight, I want you to know the basics and what to look out for. So I pull the boss, and the reason I tank him here is because I am available to switch to 3 different platforms without drastically moving the boss, leaving my melee susceptible to tail swipes. So let's discover what this boss does in Phase 1. Phase 1, the platforms light up, but we will not be seeing that here because my DPS is too high. He does a frontal cleave, which should only be taken by the main tank, and he does a tail swipe. In the flank position, your melee is safe of this tail swipe. Also in this fight, he gains a stacking buff, which increases his damage, and the way that you take that buff off is by feeding him slimes. Now, the slimes are spawned one of 2 ways. They are either spawned by running through his ooze pool that he drops, or 2, by standing in the glowing platform, which you should assign to 1 player to spawn that. I recommend either a bard or a black mage, or even your off tank as I do here. So because we don't get a platform light up in this phase because of our DPS, we run through a pool and have our off tank kite the slime while we have 1 DPS take it down, and when the slime is low, we kite the slime to the boss and feed it to him, because that takes his stack away, and the lower that the slime is, the lower the health gained by the boss is. The boss gains the health of the remaining slime. So you want to basically mitigate, or you basically want to prevent him taking or gaining any unnecessary health. So, as you can see, marked by the 2 is standing in the frontal cleave, and that is what I warned you of. You do not want to stand in front of the boss unless you are the main tank. So I tell her to move, and this is where the ads split. Now this is where I see a lot of off-tanks struggle, is to pick up the other boss. What I recommend that you do, off-tanks, have no fear, I got your back, is you make sure that your main tank is not doing flash or any AoE threat ability if it's a warrior, and you want to taunt, use an instant, flash, and then just run to your position, which is going to be opposite of where the main tank is taking it, me. So she goes to the opposite side of the room, and the reason you go to the opposite side of the room is because if they're too close together, they will end up combining. So now that the ads split, it's literally just the same fight as Phase 1, but you just have 2 bosses. So don't freak out, it's the same fight, the same mechanics to watch out for, and truly once your tanks are in position, this fight is very easy. I've seen the biggest struggle is splitting those 2 ads up and keeping everybody alive. So when the boss is split, just make sure that you're watching out for the boss being kited, watch out for his frontal cleave as I made you aware of before, and watch out for the tail swipe as well, which you saw that I had to dodge. So if you're the off tank, make sure you're watching out for the main boss's tail swipe as well as you're moving to your position. So we're in position. And what you want to do here is just assign 2 healers. You can either split your DPS or have have all the DPS focus on 1 boss, which I've seen work very well as well, but we choose to split our DPS and have the bosses die in unison. So that's it. That's the whole fight. So let's just do a quick recap of what you need to know and what you need to look out for. So Phase 1, tank and spank, watch out for the frontal cleave, do not stand in front of the boss. Make sure that you have a DPS or your off tank assigned to stand in the glowing platform or walk through a slime to take his stack down. And when you're kiting the slime to the boss, make sure you're either clear of the tail swipe or you're walking through the flank position. When the boss is split, have your off tank pick it up. Make sure that he gets threat. Watch out to where he's kiting because the boss will have the front cleave on you. And a good rule of thumb, tanks, is to make sure that you're popping cooldowns. And a good rule of thumb that I found is making sure that you're popping cooldowns when you know your healers are mobile. So when your healers are mobile on this fight, it's going to be when they get slimes casted on them or they're standing on a platform where it lights up. I think that when the platforms light up, in any of the phases, you should make sure that you have a cooldown ready because you want to make it as easy as you can on the healer. I save my hollow ground for the end of the fight where the boss has the most stacks. So my boss dies and the other boss isn't dead yet, which is perfectly okay. I wanted to show you this. So make sure that as the main tank, you're in a position where you are in the flank, so you're not getting hit by the frontal cleave. And if your Off tank dies, you're able to taunt it and take it into position where nobody's going to get hit by the tail swipe, and the boss doesn't move drastically, so they can kind of gauge where the tail swipe is. That's it for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you need me to go in depth on any certain aspects or anything like that towards this fight, please let me know. I will clarify it either through a message or I will make a video specifically for you with any questions that you have. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.